A night at Old Trafford where every emotion was torn apart, from joy, anxiety, and fury to pure, uncontainable euphoria. Manchester United seemed to have thrown away their ticket to the Europa League semi-finals after Lyon pulled off a stunning comeback in extra time. But just when fate looked to have made its choice, Mainu and Maguire rewrote the script in a single miraculous minute. From the brink of elimination, trailing 4-2, crumbling under doubt and pressure, to a breathtaking 5-4 victory. This wasn't just a game, it was 120 minutes of emotional torment, a thunderous symphony of European football where emotion overruled logic, and belief in a comeback carved out one of the most legendary nights ever witnessed at the Theatre of Dreams. From the first whistle, United made their intentions clear: to overwhelm Lyon with sheer pace and passion. The opening goal in the 10th minute wasn't just the product of a well-crafted move. It was a statement, a message that the Red Devils weren't ready to end their journey here. It was vintage United. Bruno Fernandes received the ball in perfect rhythm. Garnacho's clever layoff turned Lyon's defenders into spectators. And then, out of nowhere, Manuel Ugarte arrived like a man possessed, channeling all the fury of the first leg into one clean strike into the open net. Old Trafford roared, 75,000 fans erupting as one. And before Lyon could catch their breath, the storm rolled on. In stoppage time of the first half, Diogo Dalot, of all people, delivered a striker's finish. Maguire's long ball, Dalot's perfect run, a clinical strike that kissed the inside of the post before rippling the net. Old Trafford exploded. Lyon were lost. Amorim exhaled, thinking the hardest part was done. He couldn't have been more wrong, because what came next was chaos. Lyon, written off, under siege, found something primal, a resilience that defied belief. Their first goal. The cruel irony of a set piece, United's Achilles heel all season. 71st minute, a seemingly harmless free kick. Niakate rose above everyone, flicked on. Lacazette nudged it, and Tolisso pounced. A simple header, 2-1. Suddenly the stadium shifted from fire to fear. Then came the 77th minute, a moment of defensive madness. Fofana beat Dalot. Maitland-Niles misfired. Tagliafico didn't. A low shot to the near post. Onana scrambled, but the ball had crossed the line. VAR confirmed it. Goal, 2-2. Aggregate 4-4. Time froze. Silence fell. Lyon's bench erupted. Ugarte stood still, stunned. That sick, familiar feeling of losing control at home, just when you thought it was over. Then came extra time. Logic said United, with a man advantage after Tolisso's red card, would dominate. But football doesn't care for logic. Lyon, wounded, furious, became even more dangerous. 105th minute. Ryan Cherki, a blitzing move just 15 seconds from back to front. Fofana surged, Dalot lunged, Maguire was late. The ball fell to Cherki, one left-footed strike, a dagger, top corner, Onana frozen. 3-2 for Lyon, down to 10 men, leading at Old Trafford. But the tragedy didn't end there. Minute 109. Luke Shaw brings down Fofana in the box. Penalty for Lyon. Lacazette steps up. Calm, ice in his veins, sends Onana the wrong way. A shot that sucked the air out of Old Trafford. A celebration that stretched 80 meters toward the Lyon bench. The underdogs now leading 4-2. Aggregate 6-4. On the touchline, Ruben Amorim held his head in disbelief. Not out of rage, but sheer confusion. His side was playing with an extra man. They had been 2-0 up. Now, they stood on the edge of collapse. Ruben Amorim's substitutions had brought no order, no spark, just chaos. Like puzzle pieces scattered across a stage ruled by the madness of football. At that moment, there was only one thing left to cling to. A miracle. But who would deliver it? Minute 114. A flicker of hope amid the storm. Casemiro's leg clipped by Amanda in the box. VAR check. The referee points to the spot. A fragile lifeline hanging by a thread. Bruno Fernandes takes the ball, the weight of a universe on his shoulders. Lucas Perry guesses right. but the ball is struck with surgical precision, brushing the post on its way in. 3-4. 6 minutes left. Just enough time for madness to bloom. Manchester United charged forward like cornered animals. Lyon staggered. And then, the 120th minute. Kobbie Mainoo arrived. A scramble inside the box. The ball falls to the academy boy. He swings his foot. A curling strike toward the far corner. The crowd holds its breath. Time freezes. Like an arrow, the ball flies. Straight into the net. 4-4. Aggregate 6-6. Old Trafford erupts. But before the stadium could even process the madness, boom, minute 120 plus 1. Maguire, of all people, Harry Maguire. Casemiro floats in a cross. Maguire rises above the chaos. A thunderous header to the far post. Niakate beaten. Harry frozen. The net bulges. 5-4. Aggregate 7-6. Old Trafford detonates. A boy cries. A father screams. Onana sprints half the pitch to hug Amorim and pulls his hamstring mid-celebration. Dalot punches his chest like he's trying to rip his heart out. Bruno collapses to the ground, fists clenched. VR checks. 75,000 people hold their breath, as if the entire season's fate hinges on a single misplaced pixel. Goal confirmed, and in that instant all tactics, all errors, all analysis vanished. What remained was the purest form of footballing emotion. How do you explain this? How do you survive it? You watched your semi-final ticket get torn to shreds. You cursed into the void as 10-man Lyon led 4-2. And then, out of nowhere, like a bolt of lightning, Manchester United came alive. A penalty rekindled hope. A curling shot sent the stadium into frenzy. And then, Maguire. Yes, Maguire rewrote destiny with one nod of the head. This wasn't football anymore. This was cinema. This was a dopamine overload. This was your heart being clenched and then blown to pieces. Someone screamed, but no sound came out. Someone bit their jersey. Someone collapsed in tears. In those final minutes, tactics meant nothing. There was only one truth running through every vein. We are not dead. We are still alive. Manchester United didn't win this match with structure. They won it with heart. And tonight, that heart beat harder than it ever has. When the final whistle blew, when the scoreboard read 5-4 and 7-6 on aggregate, Old Trafford didn't just cheer, it came undone. But amidst the chaos, the tears, the embraces, one thing became clearer than ever. Manchester United were reborn tonight, not just surviving a football match, but reviving a spirit many thought was long gone. The spirit of never giving in, of refusing to bow, of believing when belief is all you have left. This wasn't a win for the better team. This was a win for a group of men who screamed back at fate and said, "We're not done yet." Yes, they were flawed. Yes, the defense crumbled. Yes, Amorim will have questions to answer. But all of that was swallowed whole by the truth of this game. It didn't belong to logic. It belonged to those who never stopped running, never stopped bleeding, never stopped believing. This story will be told again and again. Of the goal in the 120th minute, of Bruno's roar, of Maguire's header tearing the sky open, of the tears from children raised on legends, of parents who once saw greatness, now watching their kids live it too. Manchester United might not win the Europa League, but if there was ever a night that explained why we love this game, this was that night. And sometimes one night like this is enough to drag an entire season back from the edge.